Misfired for UConn. Robertson drives past. Robertson banks it home. He had a hot hand against the Wolfpack.
Showing Okafor he's not afraid to take it right to him.
Selby with Dearman on his back. Selby very physical.
Nice double down by Williams.
Skips it out to Talik Brown with the three-pointer for UConn.
Team, particularly an underdog team, coming in and beating two former coaches of national championship teams back-to-back.
Selby scores inside, and they're trying to make it.
Aware of Okafor and his ability to block shots, he might have been able to lay that straight up.
Selby between two defenders.
Not often do you see Johnny Selby turn to the right side.
Kent State 21 straight wins, the Huskies 11.
And Jim, the Big 12 with a third of the field coming from their conference of what's left.
Butler on the inside.
Good move by Jim. Gordon in the game. Williams, of course, going to be right on him, not wanting to give him any space. Great split of the hedge.
Gordon, the freshman, hits for UConn.
Connecticut, without question. When he played in the Atlantic 10 for Virginia Tech, he never played against Connecticut.
Gordon, three-point shot, swish.
He will not go scoreless. And a guy who has had multiple 20-point games, 9 of them this year. They can ill afford to have him on the bench, and he has yet to score as well. Good pass.
Gordon snaps it in to Selby. Underneath Okafor for the lay-in. 18-14 Connecticut it was in Lexington. Great games last night.
I talked to Kevin Greavy, the formerly great player from the University of Kentucky. He said, let me tell you, they were probably happy in Bloomington, but they'll never beat the happiness in Lexington when Duke goes down in Lexington. Well, so far, Jim Calhoun trying to get Brown to fight for position. But Roberts really doing a great job moving his feet instead of trying to hold him off with his hands.
There he is, Caron Butler with a three-pointer. Coming off a 34-point game against.
Quick hands, excellent defender.
Selby wanting the challenge. Willis. And there's the shot. Banged home by.
Way ahead is the case with Duke last night. The great comeback by Indiana.
Dearman missing on the front end of a 1-and-1. Butler breaking to the basket for the dunk. Kentucky.
Jim, kind of the same setup in the South. You got Indiana a 5 against Kent a 10. Now in the West, you got Oklahoma 2 against Missouri at 12. So almost same type of formula there.
Mike Hayes with the tip in.
But it's not going to be.
Hairston's three down and out. Snap pass up to Butler. Perfect pass. And a foul called on Hairston.
Both teams doing a bad job with defensive balance. Hairston took that jump shot, and Butler just, watch this, he takes the jump shot and looks. Now the release takes place. You have got to come back and get ready. Now that really should have been Williams' responsibility. His teammate took the shot. Williams should have rotated like Indiana has.
Gordon wants it, takes it, gets it.
Tremendous. Hadn't been able to connect.
Huskies in white, 2 seed in the East, led by Caron Butler right here with 10 points. Short on the shot. Selby tips it around, picked up by Okafor.
Somewhat of a nightmare from a young guy that normally fills it up.
Maybe we'll find out the answer later. 7-point margin here. Huskies adding to it with Selby and a chance to make it 10 at the line.
Jim, you made a good point a minute or so ago in regard to the maturity of certain players. Here's Selby, who has some age and experience on one end of the floor, just as we had down on the other end of the floor with Roberts. And there is a difference between a 22-year-old.
Butler doubled up, looking for an open man.
There's Johnny Selby having a hard time with that catch. It's not his game.
Gordon underneath, Talik Brown.
Smallest man in the game.
Point margin.
Good.
Williams, left hand, and Okafor, strong rebound. Numbers here for the Huskies. Robertson, right side, banks it home. 10-point net game. Shot, front of the rim.
Now 1 for 11 from 3.
Up ahead, Talik Brown. The trailer is Okafor.
Timeout, Southern Illinois. Got to get Roberts back in the game. They will not accept the fact that they're not capable of playing against a Big East champion. I'm wondering when Jim Calhoun comes back with Gordon. There he has him on the sidelines. Beautiful.
Okafor from Robertson.
That was almost a big turnover by Robinson. Had the ball gone the other way, the Salukis would have had
from 3.
Great double down by Selby.
Selby read it. Butler able to get free from Hairston. Back to Butler from Okafor. Great passing by the Huskies.
Little weave out here. Jim Calhoun trying to take time off the clock. But not a bad idea to be thinking Butler to finish this last 10 seconds off.
Gordon to Butler, left open for the basket.
And see, there's that missed foul shot, Jim, was really critical. Had prior to coming to college with the 48 points he made in the St. Louis High School All-Star games against Crawford.
Gordon with the dunk.
Just seals it. We can stay in this game. Just didn't work out.
The UConn Huskies are 1 game away from going back.
Point guard, shooting guard on shooting guard.
Mouton will have the Butler assignment today. Selby doesn't like it that far away. Kicks it back out. Brown with 5 on the shot clock. 3-pointer, UConn.
There he was again, almost picking one off.
Robertson 3. And Wilcox tips it. Butler in the right spot for UConn. Numbers for UConn. Can't get control of it in time. Brown. Too strong, tipped out Butler. Robertson has to take the open 3. Good.
This is the game that the ball handlers against the press. And I'm sure that's the reason that Gary Williams employed it. Pick and roll.
Selby with the tip in.
Pretty good size matchup here. Mouton on Butler, but Butler has been outstanding with turnaround jump shots. And Jim, Butler's just being very patient here. Quite a crossover dribble by Gordon.
Brown outside jumper, banks it home. Take advantage with Blake on the bench. Well, Selby work a little bit on Randall.
Jim, the key thing you'd want to do is obviously pressure the guards and make Dixon have to handle the ball a lot more than he'd like to.
Robertson on the drive. He loves to shoot on the run.
Jim, 2 they want.
And Okafor skies above everyone for the board. To the corner. Butler. He'll come in. Give it up, Selby. Yes.
Great job by Butler. He recognized where the deep.
Butler on the bench right now for UConn. Their leading scorer. Hazelton, a decorated high school player, but
here's the play, Jim. See how he'll do off the dribble against Nichols.
5 on the shot clock. Step back 3. Brown.
Oh, 2 threes so far today. The one thing on the scouting report you'd least expect him to do. Connecticut so far. Maryland in the zone for the first time. 1-2-2. Now they showed this against Kentucky and did a good job with them. That was a bad technique on that shot.
But inside, Butler with the putback. Battling hard.
By Johnny Selby against his zone. He's finding holes and just going up there after it. There's the 1-2-2 zone again.
Brown gets in the paint, kicks it back out. Gordon, good shooter. 3-pointer swish.
That was a mistake by Dixon. Connecticut holds its opponents to the Big East best 37% on the year. Maryland shooting 55, almost 56%. Maryland staying in that zone, figuring it worked very effectively, but that was with Butler on the bench.
Butler banks home a 3.
Selby, not a good ball handler. Gets by with it.
Robertson breaks it right up the middle.
Gary, as a player at Maryland, had held the record at 8 for 8. So this guy has been an efficient player since day 1 for the Maryland Terrapins.
Led him in field goal percentage 3 straight years. Rebounds 3 straight years. Leading him tonight. Butler with another 3, trying to keep the Huskies for a 52nd straight game.
I'm really surprised that Connecticut is allowing that curl move to be so effective. There's no hedging whatsoever.
Boy, that was some telling graphic there with Baxter and Okafor. Brown having an outside game here today.
Maryland's had, I think, and certainly last year they showed it, and hopefully they'll carry it on again this year.
Boomer, looking forward to seeing you during football season.
Okay, thanks.
Jim?
All right, welcome, Boomer, to...
Got a short memory of history, doesn't he?
How about that?
I'm not going to put this in the same league as those Lenny Elmore.
Robertson stood his ground. Resisted the attempt to try to block the shot.
Nice strong dribble by Brown. They stay in this 1-2-2 zone. Maryland playing more zone they probably had all year long.
Butler over Holden.
There's the medium range jump shot. Jim Calhoun has to like what he's seeing right now. This team, as I pointed out, pretty good at second half comebacks.
Butler for the lead. Huskies in front, 54-53.
Mouton didn't challenge away. A lot of turnovers right here for Maryland, almost unforced as well. Butler likes his spot here.
Floater in the lane.
Respect his jump shot. He's got the floater. He can finish extremely well. This co-Big East Player of the Year has been truly outstanding down the stretch. 6 double-doubles. He's the 4th leading scorer in the Big East. He was the MVP of the Big East tournament. So this stretch drive is nothing new for him.
Wilcox up and over. Randall put back. And Selvey.
Oh, that's
Gordon coming out. Huskies with the numbers. Flip to Butler. Oh, big collision. It's going against Maryland. It's going against Randall. It's 3rd. 3 fouls.
And Butler, and 78% free throw shooter this year. You go all the way across the board. He had 97 assists this year. Steals. I mean, you talk about a guy that's a Player of the Year, All-American without question. This guy belongs there.
That's 15 in this half. 21 for the game.
Blake anytime he wants to off the dribble.
Plus Blake has the 3. Fake outside and inside with the rebound. It's Butler blocked by Wilcox. This could be his 4th.
Himself there, and then went for the putback. And here he is on that foul line where he has really been solid.
Wilcox out with 4. Taj Holden to the floor for the Terrapins. 62-60. University of Connecticut in front.
Jim Calhoun going from big to small. He's got his 3-guard lineup on the floor right now.
Butler wanting it, but Okafor instead. Butler fighting for the rebound, and might be Mouton over the back.
They just cannot keep Butler off the offensive glass.
Mouton with his 2nd. With 10 fouls in the half already on the Terrapins. 2 shots for Caron Butler. Young man who really turned his life around, Billy. Age of 15. Drug and gun possession charges, and spent some time in jail. He's been very open about it.
Yep.
Said it was a good thing for me. It turned me around.
From Racine, Wisconsin, and then went up to Maine Central, where they have done such a fine job with a lot of kids, not only basketball-wise, but academically, to put them with an opportunity to play in Division I basketball.
Dixon back out to Baxter on the floor. Huskies have it with Gordon breaking. Tip back. Okafor the trailer and the lead.
And a foul. And there was a case where Dixon got up in the air. Baxter out of position. And Connecticut taking advantage of every Maryland mistake. Boy, Okafor just outran the pack. How about Gordon? He knew that he was in trouble. And just good screen. Looking for the...
Blake tried to get it over Selvey, and Wilcox right there. Flat-footed rebound.
And no second chance points for Maryland. Baxter that time out of position.
Over the back on Baxter. That'll send Butler to the line for 2. For Baxter. Williams was talking about yesterday when we were talking about the history. Williams and Calhoun go way back when Gary was the coach. This is his birthday, but feeling a little pressure. He hired Gary Williams at Maryland, formerly the AD.
Sipping of passes.
Blocked away. And here come the Huskies with a 4-on-2. Brown, Butler.
Double punt.
23rd lead change.
And Jeff Blake did not read this.
Thriller for the final berth at the Final Four. The 1 and 2 seeds in the East battling it out. To Leak Brown for the drive and the 3-point lead.
Everybody.
Gordon penetrates, gives up. Butler. Oh, and a foul on Nicholas, who thought he had a clean block.
Well, the official right under the basket never blew the whistle. This call is made from the outside. Let's see it. Looked like it was all ball there. The official
Butler has been at the line already 12 times in this half.
It's been like a career on that line, Jim.
In this half. Made 10 out of 13.
As I said, Connecticut #1 in the Big East in regard to field goal shooting percentage on the offensive end, and also #1 in the Big East field goal shooting percentage. But they've got to get penetration first. There's the outside shot. Doesn't take it.
Underneath.
Oh, what a play.
Final 14 seconds. And a thriller here in Syracuse.
Oh,
Butler with a
that Butler?
big-time dunk with 9 seconds.